what's up everybody, and welcome to an unboxing and review of 2016 Deluxe Case B. Now this will be, I believe, my third Deluxe Case unboxing, the first two being Deluxe Case W and Y from 2015 that include Doug RM and the other Larry Camper. Now the reason why I bought this deluxe case is because it includes Bessie, who was only released in 2010 and became very, very rare. Also, this case includes a brand new model of Studs McGirdle. The Nitroade cab that it includes is different than the original, and it also has a Dinoco Showgirl, which is pretty cool. And it's also supposed to have two Macs, which I don't really care about. They're just kind of the boring filler ones of the case. So let's get into the unboxing of this, and hopefully this won't be too awkward. I've done this, I believe, 4 times now, so hopefully I kind of gotten the hang of it and know how to do this a little bit better for you guys. I am back on my radiator springs table instead of being over. As you can see, I'd usually be over there, but I decided to try it on my table here just for a little bit better scenery and stuff like that. So it's just kind of awkward, like moving around the camera here and trying to cut open the box here, but I believe we are good. This is pretty cool. I am pretty excited to open this, and looks like this won't budge over here, and we should be good. There we go. Now I do have an extra Studs McGirdle Bessie and the Nitroade cab that I'll be keeping in the package, but I do want to get some extra ones here to keep in the package. So let's see what we got. We'll start with this 2 Macs on the side here. They're the most boring ones. Here we go, we've got 1 Mac. So this is the new 2016 design Roadies Racing Series. And this is actually on like a really perfect card, which is a little surprising to me. And on the back there, you can see some other releases. Now we'll take a look at these cards a little bit closer up in a few minutes here, but I just want to get them all out of the box. And let's just get the second Mac out. There's the second one. Again, nothing really too exciting for those 2 Macs. Now, this looks to be the Eric Roadales, the Nitroade cab. They did name him Eric Roadales, so that's pretty cool. We'll put him off to the side. This here looks to be Dinoco Showgirl. Awesome, awesome. That looks to be on perfect card number 1 in the Dinoco Daydream series. And here come the 2 best out of the case, in my opinion. We've got Studs McGirdle, brand new car release, and the best, which is, let's see here, we've got Bessie, and it looks like actually Bessie is the worst condition for the card, but still pretty cool. So now let's take a look at each of these individually. Let's start with Mac. Now, I won't be doing a review of him out of the package, as he is a pretty well-known and basic car, but there will be a suggestion video coming out for Mac shortly. So let's just look at his package. Now, obviously, he's on the new 2016 design, like I said earlier in the video. And last year, Mac got released with headsets, the pit crew member version, and this version is just the regular old Mac. He is number 10 out of 12 in the Roadies Racing Series, a series that was debuted in 2013 and now is back in 2015. He's got the Daredevil Garage app logo just like all the other deluxes do, and on the back here we can see that Donna Pitts, Jonathan Wrenchworks, and Fred will be released as singles, and Rusty Rusty's and Dusty Rusty's will be released in a 2-pack together. And I actually do have that one, and maybe I'll do a review on him soon. And there you can actually see a screenshot of Rusty and Dusty in the Rusty's tent. And the description for the series reads, after the Dinoco 400, Lightning McQueen meets and greets his excited Rusty's fans wanting to be just like him. Pretty accurate for the scene. Usually Mattel kind of screws up on those, but this one is pretty accurate. Now let's move on to Studs McGirdle here, and this, like I said earlier, is a brand new release, never been released before, so I'm pretty excited about him. As you can see, Studs McGirdle, number 9 out of 11 there, in a brand new series for 2016 called LA Speedway, which is where the last Piston Cup race took place and where Lightning McQueen, you know, you guys saw the movie, I don't need to explain that to you guys. And there you guys can see a nice screenshot of Marco Axelbender and Fred. The description for the series reads, the tiebreaker race at the LA International Speedway will determine who is the new Piston Cup champion. And there you guys can see Mario Andretti, Timothy Two-Stroke, and Patty will be getting a release. Kind of interesting about Patty because it'll be her first ever re-release. And of course you have Studs McGirdle right there. Now let's move on to Dinoco Showgirl, who I believe again is its first re-release since its debut. She might have been released twice in a 3-pack, but this is definitely her first alone release, like in a 1-pack. And as you can see, some pretty nice art for Dinoco Showgirl there. They do title her number 1, and I don't really understand why they did that because number 2 will probably not be released this year, just number 1, and the number is 4 of 9 in the Dinoco Daydream series, which is also a brand new series. I love the background art, it looks very nice, and this is when McQueen was dreaming that he had the Dinoco sponsorship and where he was that supercar or superhero and was kind of defeating these little mechanical droids up there. And there you go, that's the superhero McQueen right there. And here's some other releases. We got a brand new release of Transforming Lightning McQueen, which I reviewed in August. Tex Dinoco, the Deluxe Lightning Storm Lightning McQueen, which I should be reviewing soon, along with Taye Decodura. And a 2-pack of Dinoco Mia and Tia, and I also have that one. Hopefully we'll do a review soon. The description for the series reads, Rookie Racer Lightning McQueen daydreams about the glitz and glamour a Dinoco sponsorship will bring him. Very true, very accurate to the movie there. Now let's head on to Bessie right here, who is definitely the favorite of this case and may even be the favorite deluxe of the year. And again, in a brand new series for 2016, Sheriff's Impound lot. And is number 6 of 6, the concluder of the series already, which is pretty surprising. On the back here, we see 4 of the other releases, Wingo, DJ, Snotrod, and Sheriff, and the one that's not shown here is Boost. Now, I feel like this would have been a perfect opportunity for Mattel to release the tuners with tar on them, but as you can see, Mattel decided not to do that, unfortunately, which I feel like that's a mistake on their part. They could have probably done pretty well with those tuners. The description reads, when the tuners are caught speeding through Radiator Springs, Sheriff puts them in impound, and they are sentenced to tow Bessie. Again, accurate to the movie, so I'm glad that they did that. Alright, now let's move on to the last deluxe for this case, which is Eric Roadales, or better known as Nitroade Cab. I am pretty happy that they named him and, you know, gave him a name right there. Just kind of adds a little bit more characterization and personality to each character. And he is number 12 out of 14, almost the last one, but definitely one of the first to be released in the Piston Cup series. On the back here, we can see Lightning McQueen, Claude Scruggs, Hall Ingas, and James Clean Air. Now, I did already review James here in a video back in December, so if you want to check that out, the link will be down in the description below. And this is actually an inaccurate prototype version because the actual James Clean Air does not have that black grill there that is supposed to resemble a mustache. He doesn't have any grill there, so that's a mistake on Mattel's part. The description for the series is inaccurate as it reads, the King, Chick Hicks, and Lightning McQueen compete in a tiebreaker race to win the Piston Cup Championship. Now, Eric Roadales, obviously a Nitroade cab, did not appear in the last race of the Piston Cup. He was actually in the first race, which would be called the Motor Speedway of the South. So, unfortunately, rather inaccurate. I just wish they changed up the description and this picture here because look, Los Angeles International Speedway. That reminds me of that Los Angeles series. So just kind of a little bit inaccurate on the Piston Cup series there. But now let's take some of these out of the package and look at them loose. To begin, let's look at Eric Roadales, aka Nitroade Cab. Now I really like this car and I'm glad that Mattel decided to make it as a semi instead of just releasing it as a hauler back in, I believe, around 2009, 2010. Now, very nice like I said. He's got the Nitroade logo up on top of his hat right here. A very nice enthusiastic expression right there. Number 28, which is Nitroade's number on the side here. And if we move on to the back here, we just got some black plain details right there. And his mud flaps obviously have the Nitroade logo right there. And his license plate reads 87R58E. And the text above it is pretty small. I can't really read it, but it's probably saying something. I can't really tell. It might be something with California. I'm not entirely sure though. But very nice detailing on him alone. I'm glad that they took the effort to actually make a Nitroade cap like this, because if you guys look, this is the version that was included with the hauler back a few years ago, and I just love the new version a lot better. As you can see, the expression is 10 times as better, gives a lot more personality to the character, and just, you know, is a lot more appealing. It looks like they also use some sort of different gloss paint on Nitroade cap here. Just the one on the left just maybe looks a little bit more smoother, if that made any sense. Also, the number on the older Nitroade cap is a lot smaller than the new version. As you can see, this is a lot bigger than that right there. Otherwise, they look to be the same. It does look that their smokestacks are actually quite a bit different in coloring. This looks to be a little bit more shiny or chrome, whereas the new version on the left here is not as shiny, it's more dull, but still looks good. I'm not complaining. And as we move to the back here, looks like both of them do have the same license plate, which is good. I'm glad that they carried over that detail. Both have those Nitroade logos on the mud flaps. And now, if you guys aren't aware, if a hauler is released as a deluxe, you know, just the semi, it will not have the opening for the hauler to be attached to, which is a little unfortunate, but it's just kind of like try to cut back costs. But as you can see, nothing can go in that hole right there, and this is where the truck or trailer would attach. It would go in that hole and click. Now, like I said, it's to try and cut costs is why Mattel is not putting that hole or, you know, the attachment there for the just regular semi deluxe, which, you know, I mean, usually they're just kind of expecting if you have the hauler, you're going to have the semi anyways. But, you know, although it's not always like that case. Now here is how he looks with Nitroade himself, and actually Nitroade is getting a release this year in the Piston Cup series. He should be in an upcoming case, so I'm definitely looking forward to him, as I'll buy an extra one. A very nice racer in my opinion. Now let's move. Here we have Dinoco Showgirl number 1. Now I really wish Mattel named this character like they did with the Nitroade cab, as saying Dinoco Showgirl number 1 is just kind of boring and it doesn't really give much personality to the character, but not really a huge deal. Now this is the old version from the 3-pack released around 2009-2010, and I cannot spot any differences between the new version. As you can see, both versions have that mouth plate, and you can tell by this line right here is where the mouth plate differentiates itself from the main body. And I'm not a big fan of those, but it looks like they're even still using them today. So as you can see, no really big difference between the two of them. I couldn't spot anything at all. Now, the Dinoco Showgirls are their unique model. They are kind of similar, I guess you could say, to Mia and Tia, but they are different. They're just kind of the same body style or similar in size, but they are quite a bit different. Now, as you know, this is Dinoco Showgirl number 1, and the original release was in a 3-pack with a Lightning McQueen and Dinoco Showgirl number 2. and they're basically the same except for the expression there. One is looking to their left and the other to their right. So just a nice little differentiation between the two of them. So I'm glad that they did that back in the 2009 release. And like I said, they're probably not going to release number 2, which is this one, this year, because the Dinoco Daydream series is completely filled for releases. All 9 cars are accounted for, so there isn't any room for a second Dinoco Showgirl, which I'm fine with. The difference is very slight, so I don't think it would make a big deal at all. So a pretty cool car. I'm glad that they released them back in the day, and I don't really feel like it was necessary for a re-release, but still cool for newer collectors. So as you can see, this she's got this tiara on that has the Dinoco logo right there, with these blue feathers coming out, which look pretty cool. Although, I mean, you can't really expect them to be actual feathers. I mean, that would just be going pretty far for Mattel. So these look pretty nice. They're like bendable plastic. And no license plate on the back, which is okay with me. And just kind of a nice blue color. Nothing really that exotic on her, but definitely a cool release. And just, I wish they made more of them, though. I know you guys can buy more, but if they made a bunch of them with different expressions, you can fill up those background scenes. And I feel like it'd be pretty cool if you see in the movie, you'd have like 8 of these. So that'd be pretty cool, but very unrealistic for Mattel to release all of them. Let's move on to the new release of this case, Studs McGirdle. This is a brand new model and a brand new character for the Cars line, and is very, very cool in my opinion, and may be my favorite deluxe so far this year. Just as you can see, he's a cameraman now, and he doesn't seem to be like any other cameraman. He kind of seems to be like the TV broadcaster, or like the video recorder, because this camera is way bigger and way more bulkier than any of the other cameramen's cameras released. As you can see, we have Bert here, and look at that. That camera on Bert is no match for Stud's camera. I mean, it's like twice the size, a lot chunkier, and just very cool. Studs is definitely a deluxe. He definitely deserves to be a deluxe, and I'm glad that they made him a deluxe. I mean, he deserves that marking a lot more than some other deluxes I know of. And just a very cool car in my opinion. He's got the press sticker right there on his left side, which has the Piston Cup logo. Pretty cool right there. As the series states, he appeared in the LA Speedway scene, I believe, filming Daryl Cartrip and Bob Cutlass. He's got this huge camera, and I'm not sure if it's removable. I wouldn't try removing this if I were you, because it seems to be attached pretty sturdily, so I wouldn't try to remove this if I were you. Now, this is definitely a video camera as I look at it more, because as you can see, there's that little, I guess, tubing where the person would look into, and then it would be, you know, it's where the video would be shot. So, very nice. I'm glad they released this guy. This is one of the cars that they had planned on releasing back in the day, but never actually released them. So his license plate reads 7BL28, and it looks like it has the same text above the number there as the Nitroade cab did. It looks like that red cursive, a shorter word and a longer word, so that's kind of interesting. I like the taillights on Studs here, so that's pretty cool. And then it's kind of interesting, he looks to be a little bit suspended, like raised up. You guys can kind of see that, but if you look at him like that, look at the distance between the tire and the fender there. So that's a little odd that he's suspended. I don't really know why he is, but no complaints. And now a lot of people thought he'd be the same model as Timothy Two-Stroke. Definitely not the same model as Timothy Two-Stroke, but very similar in, I guess you could say, design, because they have kind of the same features. Timothy has this little uplift thing here, I don't know what to call it, and Studs has a similar thing, only like a few times bigger, and they're just kind of like that same design. Like, look at, there's the distance between the tire and the fender, distance between tire and fender. So maybe they would realistically be the same model in real life. Like maybe Timothy here is too small, maybe Studs is too big. I don't really know, but Studs, I feel like he might be a tad bit too big. He's just a really huge car. I mean, let's compare him to Lightning McQueen here. He looks to be around like twice the height of Lightning McQueen, and just a really bulky car. I mean, to understand how big Studs is, you really just have to see him in real life. I mean, a very, very big diecast, and a really awesome deluxe in my opinion. Probably my favorite so far this year. And here we have the one that many collectors have been waiting for 5 years, Bessie. Now, it's not even a character, it's just a machinery, it's equipment. Doesn't even have eyes, doesn't have a speaking line, and it's pretty interesting. I mean, maybe that's the reason why Bessie is very sought after, but I kind of find it as the reason that Bessie was very hard to find, didn't hit many stores at all across the whole world, so it was pretty hard to find. I actually managed to get this version, which is the 2010 version, at a flea market for $30. Yeah, I was pretty lucky getting this one, and there aren't any differences between this version or the new version. I mean, sure, there could be a little bit different dusting or the dots right here, but basically the same in detail and everything. Now, I did do a review of Bessie a little bit earlier, or I believe in like August or around there, so that link will be down in the description below. But I'll just kind of go over Bessie. As you can see, there is the name Bessie. You've got all the gravel or whatever this is that is used to make the tar that goes down. These are the two like barrels here. I really don't know what to call these, to be honest. And we just got some nice rubber tubes out here that would feed into this thing, it looks like. And this is where all the smoke would be pumped out. And of course, all the tar would come down here, and it would be paved on here, and then Lightning McQueen would be dragging it like this and pulling it along. Now, unfortunately, Bessie, this little hitch right there, does not hook up at all to McQueen. You'd have to make some sort of personal modification there, but Mattel doesn't provide that for you, unfortunately. Bessie has these two small wheels right here that are kind of hard to move. They're just pretty solid and just kind of firm. But we do have this big steamrolling thing right here that moves pretty well. And just a very nice deluxe in my opinion. I really like this one, although not as cool as Studs in my opinion, but still a pretty cool one. And there we've got basic service equipment. That may be why it's called Bessie, because it's just kind of like, if you try to say BSE at the same time, Bessie, I mean, I think that's maybe where the name came from, but I'm not sure. And we just got some more detailing. Caution, equipment surface may be hot. And just got, it's even textured, which is really cool. You can feel like the little dots on there. I'm really happy about that. Just a very detailed release and very heavy as well. A lot of metal on this one, which is a good thing because Mattel is cutting back on the metal on a lot of these nowadays. So it's nice to have one that is a good amount of metal on that. So thank you guys for watching this deluxe case unboxing and review. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I just wanted to thank you for voting for this review. I believe this received 5 votes. I'm not entirely sure. It may be different because I am pre-recording this, as right now I am in Disney World, probably on some sort of attraction. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on Sunday, tomorrow, for a suggestion video. See you guys then. Bye.